Hey everybody, Steve here. I'll put you up over there. And again, do I know if that's where it's supposed to be? Who knows? Anyway, you're probably like pointing right at my Wile E. Coyote air freshener. I've had this thing for since like my first car. Honestly, I'm gonna say that that thing is easily at least 20 years old. That's just crazy. It always amazes me when you think about how old something is. I don't know where the time goes, you know. But you're never gonna find, you know, a Wile E. Coyote air freshener again, I don't think. So that's why I kept it, you know. You might already notice by the background behind me that we're at a different park. What's kind of silly for me is that I can live in I've lived in this city my whole life, and you know, I've moved around about the city, but there's things that are like in your own backyard that that you're not even aware of, or you never even knew existed. This park is literally, I usually go to the other one where I've made all those other videos. This one is literally in my practically my backyard. I mean, walking distance, technically, if I really want to think about it. I could probably walk here. Not that I would do that. So yeah, I figured change of scenery. I've been here once before. I came here once last Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, by the way, so it's been a week. I just figured for a change of scenery. It's pretty peaceful here and quiet. It's more wide open than the other park. It's not as woodsy. There's garbage cans here. That's a plus, because when I finish my coffee here, you know, I gotta have somewhere to put it, you know. So, what's going on? There's some stuff going on at work, but again, I don't know how much I can really get into it. It's just been a bad couple weeks. Hopefully it'll change. I actually had to sign this thing when I first started. It was called like a blogging policy. That was you agreeing not to discuss anything, you know, work related, you know, on Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube. But I guess as long as you don't actually name your employer, then I could probably say whatever I want, because, you know, nobody's gonna know what company I'm talking about, you know. But in light of recent events there, I guess I should, you know, watch myself and play by the rules. Although I think it's kind of a form of censorship, really. And I don't play that, that's for sure. Anyway, I'm probably gonna walk a bit. I got some stuff to talk about, I suppose, as far as games go and whatnot, and what's coming up next and all that. So, other than that, I really don't have much to say other than, you know, that kind of topic. Yeah, it's just been a rough couple weeks, that's all. But that's the way it goes, right? So yeah, I'll give it some thought here, and we'll take a walk around, and I'll show you a different park. You know, it'll still be me just babbling, but it'll be in different surroundings. All right, see you in a bit. Yo, what's up? So this bathroom's a lot nicer than the other one at the other park, that's for sure. I mean, why do I keep videotaping bathrooms? Seriously. So I come out of the bathroom and it's raining that quickly. I mean, I guess it looked like it might have, but I wasn't expecting this. Literally, I was in there for like 30 seconds and I come out and it's raining. But at least there's shelter here. Again, I think at the other park you're not going to find much. So I guess I can sit here and wait it out, and that's fine, because we gotta have a little chat anyway, don't we? This is a vlog, right? And I'm supposed to be talking, right? Video games. Castlevania 3. I've been saying it forever. It's obviously one that I want to do if I'm going to keep going in chronological order. It's one that I need to do. The game is a pain. Anyone who's played it knows what I'm talking about. A lot of people think that Castlevania 1 is the more difficult game. Can I set this down? I just want to get a view of the table. Probably just a view of the table. A lot of people think that Castlevania 1 is the more difficult game.
Yes, I mean it's a difficult game, but you know, once you get the levels kind of memorized and get the patterns down, it's not that bad. And then of course there's Holy Water, you know, which just breaks the game. I know. I feel like I'm leaning forward to the camera now. I don't want to do that. I got, you know, my bad back and everything. I'm gonna end up making my back hurt. I've been like really itchy lately. There's always like some part of my body that itches. The back of my hand, my left hand, my neck, my arm. It's always something that itches. And I don't know what's up with that. But anyway, Castlevania 3, it's kind of like my white whale of video games, you know. I don't recall ever beating it. I don't think I ever have. I played some of it yesterday. I always get like, I don't know, halfway through, 75% of the way through, something like that. Because there's multiple paths that you can take. So it's hard to say like what percentage, you know, how far I got, because there's always different options and paths you can take. So obviously I'm going to keep working on that and see what I can do with it. In lieu of that, that's a fun word to say, in lieu of that, I'm probably going to move on to some Super Nintendo games. Not to say that I'll never go back to the era that I'm working on right now. You know, it's not like my OCD is gonna, you know, freak out that badly if I do. You know, once in a while you may see another NES game here and there, but I think I've pretty much accomplished what I wanted to do with that time period. So it's gonna be time to move on to the whole Super Nintendo period, along with probably the Sega Genesis as well. It's not like I'm just gonna do Nintendo games. I mean, primarily yes, because that is, in my opinion, the best. Nintendo's the best. It's that simple. But that's not to dismiss any other, you know, video game company maker. So I may do some other games from other systems as well. But so I guess what I was thinking I could talk about is the whole, you know, there's always memories attached with certain time periods. Yeah, I'm gonna start pacing now. But actually I want to see if I can get like a close-up of the rain. Can you actually see that on camera? A little glistening maybe, I don't know. Once it gets all compressed and whatnot on YouTube though, I don't know. Super Nintendo came out, I want to say like 92-ish, I think. Somewhere around in there. And if it was 92, that would be the year that I never know how to say this. Finished high school. I can't say graduated from high school because I never graduated. I don't know if I've ever mentioned that before. Is that I failed a bunch of classes and I wasn't allowed to graduate. I did go on to get my GED. I was kind of pressured by somebody to do it, but not that it was a bad thing. I guess I do have, you know, to give some thanks for that. Otherwise I wouldn't even have that. So it's always kind of bothered me in that I'm far from stupid. I'm not a stupid person at all, and to say that I didn't graduate high school kind of makes me feel stupid. But, and again, nobody knows the reasonings why, you know. I always hate when there's a certain fact about yourself, and then, you know, you tell somebody, then they immediately get a certain perception of that fact without knowing the full details or the reason why. Like if I were to tell somebody I never graduated high school, I think the general reaction, not necessarily spoken, but the general reaction to that is going to be, oh, you know, you're kind of an idiot and a loser and you're stupid, you know. And that's not the case. What held me back at school was the way that I was treated. And I've talked about this before, so I'm not going to get all into it again, but it was the way that I was treated, and it was the way that I spent my days, you know, fearing for my safety, really, rather than focusing on schoolwork. I just couldn't do it. Every day was a battle and a struggle. Is there any like water on the camera lens? I hope not. Let me see. No? Okay. There is on my screen on my side. So it's what I had to endure while I was there that held me back and prevented me from doing well in classes and ultimately graduating. So anyway, what I've, you know, as I go this roundabout way of saying that, so that was 1992, and from there I went and I got my first job in the summer of '92. It was at a local animal hospital. I didn't have a car yet, so I actually had to, there were, you know, sometimes my mom would take me, but not sometimes, quite a bit actually, but there were several times, excuse me, where I had to walk. There were times where I walked to work, and it was several miles. So now I feel like one of those old people that always talked about back in the day when we had to walk, you know, uphill and through snow, and well, I did. There were days when I did. And if it was like walking home from work, I would just get home and just collapse like on my bed because my legs hurt. I was just exhausted. And the frustrating thing is that it wasn't for very long. The job that I had, I literally would go in and, I don't know if it's because I work quickly like I always have and probably always will, I would get done what I needed to do, you know, give or take an hour, hour and a half. And it's like I just walked for like an hour, at least hour and a half probably, just to work for the same amount of time. It was kind of silly, you know, but you know, it's your first job and you're, you know, trying to make a good impression and you're trying to earn money, you know, for things that you want to buy. I don't know. I'm just trying to wait out the rain here. There's like this the town vehicle that keeps going by. I'm just trying to wait out the rain, but I always feel like I'm being weird just like sitting here, and you know, I don't want anyone to like accuse me of being suspicious, you know. So that was the time, that was what was going on in my life at the time that the Super Nintendo Sega Genesis came out. It was around, that was when I had my first job. The one thing I would recall about that job too is that we didn't have a dumpster, so we kept throwing all of the garbage bags into this shed, like in the back of the building. And one of my responsibilities, I forget which day of the week it was, I want to say it was Tuesdays, was garbage day. It's when the garbage people came to pick up the garbage. So I would have to get all of the garbage out of that shed and get it out to the front, you know, by the road, so that the garbage people could pick it up. So I had to use like a wheelbarrow and load up this wheelbarrow with garbage bags and wheel them out to the street. And it was this, you know, it was this dark shed, you know, it was this, it was, and me issues with dark and whatnot, but it was this dark shed and it had all these garbage bags in it. Anyway, I just had to totally walk in the rain for a little. It's dying down, but I just had to walk in the rain for a little bit, so I'm in a different spot right now. Yeah, there was like the parks vehicle like driving past me like 3 times, staring at me. I am literally like the only person here right now, especially since it started raining. I don't know why that bothers me. It makes me feel like I'm doing something wrong or something when I'm not. But anyway, to finish up that story I was telling, maybe there's a reason why I got interrupted. It's probably a story that shouldn't be told. It's kind of gross, but so all the garbage is in this shed, and every week I had to get it out. And I remember there was one day, because it's dark in that shed, there's no light or anything, and I had the wheelbarrow and I went in, I went to grab like the first couple garbage bags, and I like slid through my fingers, slid through my hands. I was like, well, you know, what the hell? I stepped outside the shed into the light, and there were just like maggots all over my hands. And then, you know, I held the doors open to the shed, and the light from outside kind of went in to the shed a little bit. And you could just see like maggots everywhere, like all over the garbage bags. And I was just like, seriously? I mean, I forget what I was getting paid at the time. It was probably like $5 or something an hour back in those days, you know. So, and speaking of rain, I would have to do it in the rain too. It would always like rain on garbage day, or the day when I would have to get the garbage out. And I'd be out there for like an hour with a wheelbarrow full of maggot covered garbage bags. I mean, just you think back on what you've done in your life for money, you know, for a job, you know, but there's like limits. I remember even at that point saying, you know, there's limits, you know, this just isn't worth it. So yeah, so basically all this is kind of what was going on, you know, in like 1992 kind of era, 92, 93. So there's always memories attached with certain time periods. So yeah, so anyway, all this is a roundabout way of me saying that, you know, if Castlevania 3 doesn't work out for me, then I'm going to move on to some Super Nintendo games, and I will probably be starting with Super Mario All-Stars. The reason for that is I know that back when I first started making these videos, that the quality, not that it's, you know, anything spectacular now, but it really wasn't that great, especially when it came to the audio. My microphone just wasn't working right, or the settings weren't right, and so to do Super Mario All-Stars would be really nothing more than an excuse for me to redo the Super Mario Brothers 1, 2, and 3. Yes, there's the addition of the Lost Levels in there, which again is a nightmare of a game, but I will do it just for fun. But ultimately what it would be is an excuse for me to redo those games with some better audio. You know, you look back at my older videos and you've got to crank up the volume on the computer because it's so low. And I thought, at the time, I thought I tried everything I could. And then when my computer conked out and I hooked it up, everything up to my old one, it worked perfectly. So I don't know what was going on with that, but so basically that's what's coming up. It's either going to be Castlevania 3 if I can pull it off, or it's going to be Super Mario All-Stars. All 4 games are contained within All-Stars. And then from there I'm probably going to jump right into Super Mario World, which is the, you know, Super Nintendo classic that you just can't speak highly enough. So it's probably going to be like one big Mario marathon. Plus with that I've also got a 80-minute video of me playing the original Mario Brothers. I always have to emphasize this, not Super Mario Brothers, but just Mario Brothers, you know, the arcade game that was ported to, you know, many platforms, but including the Nintendo. I played one night and I was on a roll, and I just kept going. I played for like 80 minutes straight, and so I've got that. I still don't know if I should split it up or not, or what, but, or just do it all in one big huge video. Why not, you know? So there's that as well. So if Castlevania 3 doesn't work out, it's going to be pretty much a big Mario marathon. Mario Brothers, Super Mario All-Stars, all 4 games, and then Super Mario World, all in a row. And it doesn't get any better than that, you know. So we'll see what happens. I may get back in my car to wrap this up, but I really don't know what else to say, but I'm sure I'll think of something. So I think it's finally stopped raining, so I'm going to get back to my car, alright?
Alright, so yeah, check out that rain. I never know how well rain shows up on camera. So yes, that's it. That's all I got. Looks like it's a good day to just go home and play some games, get some recording done. So until then, everyone take it easy, have a good day, peace, and I'll see you for either Castlevania 3 or a ginormous Mega Mario Marathon. We'll see what happens, alright? So, yeah. Right, that's all I got, right? Yeah, that's all I got, okay.